You were created with intention, not by chance, not by mistake, not because it just happened. You are not a coincidence. You are a design. You are the breath of God given form. Every breath you take is not random. Every heartbeat echoes the reminder you are alive for a reason. Your life is a message. Maybe you don't understand it yet, but the meaning is there. Many people search for a sign that they are on the right path, but the very fact that you exist is already the sign. If this world didn't need you, you wouldn't be here. God does not waste his breath. You are more than a body and a name. You are a story still being written. You are an answer to someone's prayer, an inspiration for someone you haven't met yet. You are part of a greater plan that is only beginning to unfold. Maybe you look at your life and think, what's the point? Why me? But know this, even in your doubt, your pain, your loss, you are not a mistake. Even a broken vase can reflect the light if a beam touches it. And so can you, even when you feel shattered. You were not made merely to exist. You were made to discover meaning, to bring light, to be a part of something greater than yourself. You are here for a reason. Inside your heart lies a gift waiting for the moment you stop being afraid and start believing in yourself. Sometimes God is silent not because he has abandoned you, but because he already spoke, the moment he breathed life into you. Everything you need is already within you. You just haven't truly listened yet. Ask yourself, what sets your soul on fire when you dream? What breaks your heart when you see injustice? There lies the key to your purpose. There burns the flame you were born to carry. The world doesn't need copies. It's waiting for you, the real you, with your flaws, wounds, doubts, and fears. Because even your weakness can become someone else's strength. You may not know where you're going, but God does. He never creates without purpose. Your existence is not an accident. You are a design, a thought made alive. You are someone's hope, someone's answer, someone's inspiration. Don't live just to survive. Live to fulfill the reason you were made. And if these words touched your heart, stay here. Subscribe to the channel. Here we speak of meaning, of faith, of the journey of the soul. Because none of us are here by accident. And maybe right here, you'll remember who you truly are.
Trials do not come to break you. They come to awaken what cannot awaken without pain. When the storm rises, a person learns how deep their roots truly are. Without wind, the tree never learns to hold the ground. Every fall carries meaning. It does not humiliate, it purifies. When you stand on the mountaintop, you rarely question who you really are. But when you fall, you face yourself, and that is where true understanding begins. Humility is not born in easy days. It grows where it hurts. Strength does not come when everything goes right, but when you rise again, even if all that's left inside is silence and exhaustion. Many see hardships as punishment, but God does not punish, he teaches. He does not destroy, he shapes. The storm does not come to tear down the house if faith lives within its walls. It comes to reveal what your foundation is made of, sand or stone. When it seems like everything is falling apart, it isn't. Only what no longer serves you is being taken away. What once held you back is being cleared away. Sometimes God removes things not to hurt you, but to prepare you for more. You ask for patience and receive waiting. You ask for wisdom and receive difficulty. You ask for faith and find yourself in darkness. A trial is not rejection, It is an answer, just in a different form than you expected. A path without obstacles teaches nothing. A person who has never known pain cannot grasp the depth of compassion. They cannot appreciate light if they have never walked through darkness. Life itself works the same way. What seems unfair often becomes the greatest teacher. Hardship does not change who you are, it reveals it. The test doesn't make you someone new. It uncovers who you have been all along. When everything is gone, when strength fades, you finally see what truly held you, faith or fear. Pain is not your enemy. It is the blacksmith's hammer striking metal so that it becomes stronger, purer, more refined. Without blows, there is no sword. So it is with the soul. Without trials, it remains soft, unable to bear the weight of life. Every wound carries a lesson. Every loss brings new strength. And if you are walking through pain right now, remember, this is not the end of the road. It is the middle. The shaping is in progress. You are not breaking. You are becoming. God does not choose those who have it easy. He chooses those willing to walk through fire and not surrender. Because it is there, in the heat of hardship, that true faith is born, true character is forged, and true strength begins to shine.
Faith comes before understanding. It doesn't demand proof. It doesn't wait for guarantees. It doesn't ask for explanations. It's like taking a step into the dark when the road ahead is invisible. Yet you walk anyway, because something within you whispers that the path exists. A person craves clarity. They seek answers, signs, certainty. They want to know where God is leading them and why things happen the way they do. But God rarely reveals the whole road. He shows only the next step, just enough for you to learn trust instead of control. If you could see the entire journey in advance, faith would no longer be needed. You would simply follow the plan. But God doesn't want you to be a performer of a script. He wants you to be a co-creator of your destiny, and that is only possible through trust. Sometimes the answer to prayer doesn't come as a miracle, but as a trial. You ask for light and receive darkness. You ask for faith, and everything you relied on is taken away. You ask for a sign and hear only silence. Yet it is in that silence that true trust is born. Clarity comforts the mind. Faith strengthens the soul. When everything is clear, there's no need to believe. But when all is fog, when there's no solid ground, when you can't see the end, that's when faith becomes real. You don't have to understand everything in order to move forward. You don't have to know why your path is what it is. Sometimes God hides the meaning on purpose to see if you can still trust when logic disappears. Faith isn't blindness. It's the ability to see farther than the eyes can reach. It doesn't erase doubt. It rises above it. It's the quiet voice that whispers, "Keep going, even if you're afraid. Keep going, even if you don't understand." Sometimes the road feels endless, and each step seems meaningless. You pray, but feel no answer. It seems as if God is silent. But silence is also an answer, because it teaches you to listen with your heart, not your ears. Understanding comes later, like dawn after a long night. First comes faith, step by step, until one day you look back and see that everything made sense, even the things that once felt like loss. God builds the road not out of explanations, but out of trust. He doesn't hand you a map because he wants you to learn to hear his voice at every turn. He never promises it will be easy, but he promises you will never walk alone. When you believe without clarity, you grow. When you keep walking, not seeing the end, your spirit strengthens. And one day you'll understand. Faith doesn't come after understanding. It's what leads you to it.
Nothing in life happens without meaning. Even pain has a purpose. Even loss carries a hidden design, though the heart cannot see it when it's breaking. Loss is not a punishment. It is liberation. What leaves your life leaves for a reason. Sometimes God removes what you cling to so tightly because He knows it no longer helps you grow. You see an ending, but He sees a beginning. The destruction of the old is not ruin, it is transition. Nothing new can rise without something first being broken. To plant a tree, the soil must be turned, and the seed must die in the darkness before it can sprout. So it is with life. What looks like the end is often the process of rebirth. Pain is not a curse, but an instrument. It shapes the soul the way a stone sharpens metal, making you deeper, clearer, more attentive to life. Through pain, a person learns to see with the heart, to understand the silence of others, to hear what once went unnoticed. Without pain, we do not mature. Without loss, we do not appreciate. Without destruction, we do not rebuild with awareness. Sometimes you must lose everything to finally understand what truly matters. When the familiar collapses, it opens space for something new. The old does not release easily, and that's why it hurts. Because along with what departs, a part of your past, your illusions, and your fears leave too. But if the old never left, the new could never arrive. You cannot step into a new life while holding on to everything that binds you to the past. Sometimes pain comes not to destroy, but to show that you no longer fit inside your old limits. God is not breaking you. He is breaking the cage around you. Loss is a call to trust. You may not always understand the reason now, but one day, when you look back, you'll see. Where you once cried, gratitude now blooms. Where there was darkness, there is light. Every loss leaves a space that one day will be filled with something greater than you imagined. Sometimes the pain feels endless, but it isn't meant to stay. It's meant to pass through you and transform you. It softens the heart, sharpens the vision, and teaches the soul compassion. Life is not made only of joy. God speaks not only through happiness, but through pain, through silence, through waiting. He doesn't destroy, He frees. He takes away to give. He empties to fill. And when it seems that everything is lost, something new is beginning, because everything that happens, even pain, even loss, even emptiness, has a purpose. And that purpose is your awakening.
God does not wait for perfection. He does not choose those who never make mistakes, never fall, and are always confident. Great things are accomplished by imperfect people, and it is through imperfection that true strength is revealed. Strength is not in never falling. Strength is in rising every time you fall. Strength is in the willingness to move forward when everything inside screams, "Enough." Strength is in the steadfastness of the heart and the determination of the spirit. God does not look at success, praise, or external recognition. He looks at your heart, at your willingness to keep going despite fear, doubt, and fatigue. History is full of examples of how God chose ordinary, vulnerable, imperfect people for extraordinary deeds. David was a shepherd.
Moses stuttered. The apostles were simple fishermen. Yet through them the world was changed. Not because they were strong, but because they were willing to trust, willing to act, willing to submit their fears to God's will. You may feel you are not enough. You may doubt yourself, your abilities, your experience. But these very doubts make you ready, and through them God shapes your resilience. Every fall, every failure, every mistake is not a sentence. It is a tool through which He makes you stronger. God does not choose those who have never known pain. He chooses those who can endure it, who can rise when the world around them collapses, who can continue to trust when everything seems lost. Strength does not make a person ready. Readiness makes a person strong. Do not think you need to wait for the perfect moment. Do not think you need to be flawless to deserve your calling. God works through readiness, through an open heart, through determination. And sometimes the path feels heavy, obstacles seem too many, the world against you. But it is precisely there, in trials, that God forms your resilience. When you keep going despite fear, fatigue, and doubt, when you rise after every fall, when you trust God without seeing the full plan, you are already strong, you are already ready, and through you great things will begin to happen. Remember, God does not seek the perfect. He strengthens the willing. Willingness is more important than knowledge, experience, or outward strength. And every step of your faith, every effort, every victory over yourself is a brick in the foundation of true strength. Are you imperfect? Excellent. Did you fall? Wonderful. Do you doubt? Perfect. Because through all of this, readiness is formed, and readiness is the key for God to act through you. Strength comes not to those who seek it, but to those who are willing to walk, who are willing to believe, who are willing to act. And it is these willing ones who become strong, and through them, great things are accomplished. God never rushes. He does not delay. Every moment of your life unfolds in perfect harmony with His plan. What seems like a delay is actually preparation. What seems slow is actually formation. Often, a person wants everything to happen quickly. They want to see results, receive validation, feel success. But the world and God are not the same. The world hurries, demands, pushes, compares. God works differently. He builds deeply, thoroughly, with care. He knows that everything that grows too fast breaks just as fast. Sometimes silence is not the absence of action, but a time of formation. Your faith, your resilience, your strength are being shaped when it seems that nothing is happening. While externally the world appears still, inside you, work is being done. Your thoughts are being purified, your intentions strengthened, your soul learning to trust. Gold is purified through fire. Natural elements endure intense heat to become pure and valuable. So it is with people. God passes us through the fire of trials to purify, strengthen, and prepare us. Pain, difficulty, delays, they are not punishment, but they are the process of formation. Every delay has meaning. Every not yet is a lesson in patience. When you rush,
you miss what is forming within you. Every small step, every effort that does not bring immediate results is a brick of the future. God lays a foundation that the eye cannot see, but which holds everything that will come later. You may see others who seem to move faster. You may compare yourself and wonder, why haven't I achieved the same? But your path is unique. God leads you at His own pace because He knows what you need to prepare for your future. You cannot accelerate this process without compromising who you are meant to become. Silence is a time when character is formed. Silence teaches listening when the noise of the world fades. Silence teaches patience when the heart wants to see immediate results. Silence is an opportunity for inner growth, for awareness, for preparation for what is to come. Remember, God does not rush because the goal is not yet ready. And while He forms you, He simultaneously forms the path, the opportunities, the people, and the circumstances. Every moment of waiting is part of the process. Every day when it feels like nothing is happening, God is working on you. When the time comes, when everything aligns, you realize that all the delays, all the difficulties, all the trials were part of the preparation. You become stronger, wiser, more patient, and it is precisely then, when the moment arrives, that you are ready to hold, appreciate, and use the gift. So do not fear silence. Do not fear waiting. Do not rush the events. God moves at His own pace, and that pace is perfect for shaping you into the person you are meant to become.
Every person walks their own path. Everyone moves at their own pace. What seems slow to you may be fast for someone else, but this does not make you weaker. It makes your journey unique. Comparing yourself to others is one of the greatest traps we fall into. You see the success of others, their achievements, praise, and recognition, and it seems like you are falling behind. You think, why don't I have the same? Why am I not moving as fast? The truth is, everyone has their own pace, their own path, and their own lessons. Slow growth often produces the strongest results. A tree that grows quickly may break in the wind. A tree that grows slowly develops deep, strong roots. The same is true for people. Every trial, every difficulty, every step forward shapes your resilience, and resilience is the key to true strength. Focus on yourself. Do not measure your value by the achievements of others. Your path does not follow anyone else's. What comes quickly for them is forming more deeply in you. What seems like a small step is actually the foundation of your future success. When you stop comparing yourself to others, energy is freed. This energy goes toward growth, development, and moving forward. You begin to appreciate every step, every small victory, every moment you overcome fear or doubt. You start to notice the progress that once went unseen, and you realize how meaningful it is. The main thing is not speed, but resilience. It is not how far you run in a day, but how many times you rise after falling. It is not how many tasks you complete, but how many times you refuse to give up when it is hard. Resilience forms character, faith, and inner strength that can withstand any storm. Remember, your path is unique, and comparisons only distract. You are walking toward your goal, and every step matters. Every mistake, every failure, every doubt is part of your growth. The more you learn to walk at your own pace, the stronger you become. Do not rush events. Do not expect instant results. Resilience grows gradually, like the roots of a tree stretching deep into the soil. And from these roots, true greatness emerges. So take steps forward every day. Focus on your own journey. Be patient with yourself. Be resilient. Do not let the success of others measure your worth. Comparisons only slow growth. You are walking your unique path, and every step you take is a victory. And if you want reminders that your strength and resilience grow each day, subscribe to the channel. Here, we learn to value our own paths, practice patience and endurance, and move forward step by step, no matter the pace of others.
Gratitude is more than just a word. It is a state of the soul that opens your eyes to what truly matters. Gratitude is the key that can unlock doors closed by fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Often, we are grateful only for what is pleasant, for joy, success, love, or luck. But the true power of gratitude is revealed when we learn to be thankful not only for good, but also for pain, difficulties, and loss. Pain teaches humility. Loss creates space for the new. Challenges make us stronger and deeper. When you are grateful for difficulties, you show trust in God. You accept that everything happening has a purpose, even if it seems unfair or incomprehensible now. Gratitude is a way of saying, I believe that you know what you are doing. Through gratitude, we stop fighting the flow of life. We stop resisting what cannot be changed. We begin to see the lessons that were previously hidden. Gratitude does not always come easily. Sometimes the heart is filled with pain, resentment, or fear, and it is precisely in these moments that gratitude becomes an act of faith. It shows that even amidst difficulties, we can see the light. It opens internal doors, allowing the mind and soul to release negativity, fear, and doubt. Through trust expressed in gratitude comes mature faith. Faith that does not depend on external circumstances, on praise from others, or immediate success. Faith that remains steadfast when everything around seems chaotic or uncertain. Mature faith is faith tempered by time, trials, and gratitude. When we are grateful for everything, both joy and challenges, we realize that every part of the journey has meaning. Every loss and every victory shape us. Every fall and every rise strengthens our resilience. And it is precisely this resilience that opens doors that might otherwise remain closed. Gratitude transforms the way we perceive the world. It turns resentment into lessons, disappointments into opportunities, and fear into strength. It gives us the ability to see that even the hardest moments serve our growth, development, and character formation. When we are grateful, we stop waiting for perfect conditions. We understand that everything that happens is part of the process. We learn to trust that every step and every situation has meaning, and this trust allows us to move forward with confidence, knowing that everything life gives leads to our growth and inner development. Gratitude is the bridge between who we were and who we are becoming. It helps us see that difficulties are not obstacles, but tools shaping our inner strength. It opens our eyes to hidden opportunities that might otherwise go unnoticed. Through gratitude, the heart opens to understand that every experience is a step toward mature faith, inner freedom, and the ability to embrace life
in all its fullness. Gratitude shows that the journey is just as important as the destination, and that trusting God, expressed through gratitude, becomes the foundation of resilience, strength, and inner peace.
Forgiveness begins with yourself. Forgiveness is not weakness, nor is it forgetting. It is the ability to free yourself from the weight you carry inside. Often, we hold on to mistakes, past failures, and guilt that no longer has power over our lives. But until we forgive ourselves, we cannot move forward. We remain prisoners of the past, trapped by limitations and doubts. Letting go of guilt means acknowledging that you did the best you could at that moment with the knowledge and experience you had. Mistakes do not make us bad, they make us teachers to ourselves. Every mistake is a lesson, every failure a step toward understanding who we are meant to become. Forgiving yourself creates space for inner growth. When we stop blaming ourselves, we begin to see opportunities. We stop clinging to the past, and the energy once spent on regret is redirected toward creating the future. Forgiveness is the power that allows you to move forward without looking back at what is behind you. People around you are not obligated to understand your mission. They may doubt, criticize, or underestimate your intentions and aspirations, and that is normal. The world is not designed to support your unique path. It reflects the fears, doubts, and limitations of others. That is why inner confidence is more important than external approval. Your task is to follow the call of your heart, not to seek validation from others. When you rely on other people's opinions, you lose your freedom. You begin to conform, limit yourself, and fear to realize your potential. But the path of the heart is always a path of growth, development, and true strength. It requires courage because often no one will support or praise you. Forgiveness and freedom go hand in hand. Forgiveness allows you to let go of what held you in the past. Freedom gives you the ability to breathe fully, live without limitations, and move toward goals that matter to you. It is a process of inner transformation that opens doors to wisdom, courage, and faith in your own strength. When you learn to forgive yourself, you understand that mistakes are not the end of the road, but part of the journey. You realize that fear and doubt are signals of growth, not condemnation. You learn to listen to your inner voice rather than reacting to external noise and criticism. Forgiving yourself is an act of self-love. It is recognizing your own value despite mistakes. It is the freedom to be a person who learns, grows, and moves forward rather than remaining stuck in the past. Through forgiveness and freedom, you find the strength to follow your own path. You stop seeking approval and comparing yourself to others. You begin to live with ease, awareness, and determination. You understand that the path of the heart is your mission, and no one else has the right to judge it except you. Forgiveness and freedom make a person strong, wise, and free. They transform pain into lessons, mistakes into experience, and doubts into confidence. And only by freeing yourself can you move toward the future that is truly meant for you.
Fear is not a signal to stop. Often, we perceive fear as an enemy, a barrier that prevents us from moving forward. But in reality, fear is an indicator of growth, a signal that we're on the edge of stepping beyond the familiar, the comfortable, and the safe. Fear points to areas where hidden potential lies, waiting to be discovered. Every time we take a step through fear, we expand our inner possibilities. We learn that limitations exist not outside, but within us. By overcoming fear, we open new levels of freedom and strength. We realize that we are capable of more than we ever imagined, that we can handle challenges that once seemed insurmountable. God does not give an easy path, but strong legs. He does not promise that the road will be simple, but He promises to prepare us for every step, every trial, every difficulty, and every anxiety is training for the Spirit, training in endurance and confidence. And it is precisely through facing fear that true human strength is formed. True faith manifests in the darkness, when the path is unclear, when the eyes see nothing, yet the heart continues forward. It is easy to believe when everything is bright and clear, when life unfolds according to plan. But faith is tested when it seems there is no way out, when circumstances place us before uncertainty. It is in these moments that true resilience is revealed. Faith leads through the fog, through uncertainty, and it is then that its power becomes evident. Every step taken despite fear strengthens character. Every triumph over doubt and anxiety leaves confidence in the soul, the certainty that difficulties can be overcome. Fear ceases to be an enemy and becomes a tool for development. It shows where potential is hidden and gives the opportunity to unlock it. A person who has learned to walk through fear understands that growth never occurs in the comfort zone. Every new peak, every achievement requires courage and a willingness to confront what is frightening. And it is this very journey that shapes true inner freedom. Freedom from doubt, uncertainty, and limitations imposed by fear. Fear teaches us to trust the process. It reminds us that the path to great accomplishments requires effort, patience, and determination. And the more we face our fears, the stronger and more resilient we become. Fear becomes a measure of our growth, a reflection of how ready we are to step beyond the familiar and reveal the potential within us. And when we continue forward, even when it is frightening, even when our legs tremble, even when our hearts seek a safer path, we discover that fear did not stop us. We see that every obstacle was a lesson, every difficulty a preparation, and every step through fear a step toward freedom, strength, and faith in someone. It is this way that a person is formed, one capable of walking their path with confidence, endurance, and faith in themselves.
Uncertainty often scares us. We are used to seeking clarity, trying to understand how and when events will unfold. But life rarely follows a plan, and the most important changes come through what we cannot predict. Uncertainty is not emptiness. It is the space in which miracles unfold, where God works in ways we cannot yet see. God is the director of our lives. Even if the script seems unclear, even if we cannot see the ending, every moment has purpose. Every delay, every unexpected encounter, every twist of fate is part of a design we are not yet able to comprehend. Uncertainty is the stage on which the story of our growth, strength, and faith is revealed. Blessings come not when we are ready to receive them, but when we are ready to sustain them. Sometimes we pray, ask, and wait for signs. But God gives not just a gift, but a tool for development. The need to manage, nurture, and grow what we receive is part of the preparation for true blessing. Without this experience, what is great may destroy rather than build. That is why many opportunities arrive quietly without immediately revealing their value. Everything that seems like a loss is part of preparation. When something leaves our lives, we feel emptiness and pain, but it makes room for the future. God removes not as punishment, but to create space for what is meant to come. Every separation, every closed path, every failure is not the end, but preparation for the next stage, for something greater. Instead of clinging to the past, we must learn to trust the process and see in every turn a sign of care and guidance. Uncertainty requires faith. Faith comes when we walk in darkness, unable to see the whole picture, but trusting that step by step God leads us. In this moment, we learn to hear the quiet whisper of our inner voice, to recognize our own strength and resources that were previously hidden. Every step into the unknown strengthens character, expands the limits of possibility, and builds resilience. Uncertainty is not an enemy, it is an opportunity for growth, for unlocking hidden potential, for the arrival of what we could never have imagined. When we stop fearing the unknown, we open ourselves to the miracles that happen in silence and darkness. True miracles often come through what we cannot control. Every event, every surprise, every challenge is an opportunity to see how God works, shaping us and our destiny. And when we embrace uncertainty, stop fighting it, and learn to trust, we become witnesses to amazing transformation. Uncertainty is the stage on which our miracle unfolds. Every moment of doubt, every loss, and every challenge is preparation for something great. Trust, patience, and the willingness to move forward are the keys that open the door to the new and unexpected. It is on this stage that our faith, strength, and heart reveal themselves in their fullest measure.
Faith is not just a feeling or a thought. It is action. It is moving forward when your eyes cannot see the whole path, when your heart does not know all the answers, and your mind asks 1,000 questions. True faith shows itself in the step you take, even when you doubt, when the road seems difficult and unpredictable. You do not need to know the entire path. Often we want to see the map, the plan, every turn and every outcome before taking a step. But God shows only the next step, because if we could see the whole journey at once, we might be afraid and stay in place. It is the movement, even a small one, that unlocks potential, develops character, and builds resilience. Every step, even the smallest, brings you closer to your purpose. It may seem insignificant, but these steps together form the road leading to a goal you cannot yet fully see. Every action, every effort, every choice is a building block in the foundation of your life, shaping the person you are meant to become. Faith is a process, not an instant result. It guides through doubts, mistakes, and falls, and each time you continue moving forward, it grows stronger. Faith moves mountains, first within you. Every time you overcome doubt, fear, or fatigue, you build inner strength, confidence, and stability. This inner transformation is the true power that allows you to handle any external challenges. When your faith is strong inside, the external mountains begin to yield. What once seemed impossible becomes achievable. What once felt overwhelming opens new possibilities. It is important to remember that movement through faith requires patience and consistency. Not every step will be easy, and not every moment will bring visible results. But movement, even slow, always leads forward. Faith is not measured by how fast you go, but by the fact that you keep going despite difficulties. It is tested precisely when the journey is hard, when external circumstances frighten you, and when your inner voice doubts.
When you move in faith, you learn to trust the process of life. You begin to see that every experience, every challenge, every unexpected event is part of your path. Faith turns fear into action, doubt into steps, and obstacles into lessons. And with every step, you move closer to who you are meant to be, to what is destined for you. Remember, movement through faith is a path of constant growth. It is a path without rush, but full of purpose. Every action, every effort, every decision builds a life filled with strength, resilience, and inner freedom. Faith is not waiting for a miracle. Faith is moving toward it, and every step you take in faith brings you closer to true freedom and your purpose, reveals the potential planted in your heart, and makes you stronger than you ever imagined.
You were created with strength, wisdom, and faith already within you. There is no need to search for them outside. They are inside, ready to reveal themselves when you decide to move forward. Every trial, every pain, every mistake, and every fall was not accidental. They were preparation, forging, and lessons that shaped you for what lies ahead. Everything you have experienced was part of the path. Every no, every delay, every difficulty, not an obstacle, but a step toward a greater purpose. Do not dwell on the past or fear what lies ahead. All your previous efforts have already made you stronger, wiser, and closer to becoming who you are meant to be. The most important thing is not to give up. Life tests your perseverance, not your ability to avoid hardships. Yes, the path may be slow. Yes, sometimes it feels like nothing is going your way. But every step forward, even a small one, brings you closer to your destiny. Do not rush the process. God, the universe, fate, call it what you will, is preparing you for great things. And these things require patience, faith, and steady movement even when the road seems difficult. You are capable of more because you already possess everything needed to achieve your goals. The strength to rise after a fall, the wisdom to learn from mistakes, the faith to move when the end is unseen. Every obstacle is an opportunity to become stronger. Every doubt is a chance to reinforce your faith. Every challenge is a moment to show resilience. Do not compare yourself to others. Do not look at someone else's success or seek approval. Your path is unique. Your journey is one of a kind, and within that uniqueness lies your power. Move forward, even when it is scary. Move forward, even when it feels like everything is against you. Move forward, even if there is no support or understanding from those around you. Every step you take with faith and determination builds your future. Every effort, every action, and every victory over yourself contributes to the life you deserve. Remember, everything that has happened was preparation. Everything ahead is both a test and an opportunity. And each day is a chance to become better, stronger, and wiser. You have already proven to yourself that you can overcome challenges. Now it is time to see how great your future is and how much strength has already been placed within you to reach it. So do not stop. Do not doubt. Do not fear. Move forward step by step, steadily, confidently, with faith in your heart and determination in your soul. Every fall and every challenge has made you capable of more. You are ready for your path. You are ready for your mission. You are ready to become who you were created to be. If you want a reminder that strength, faith, and resilience are already inside you, subscribe to the channel. Here, we walk this path together, support each other, and learn to turn challenges into growth and fear into strength. Remember,
Your journey is unique, and every step brings you closer to your greatest version.